Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. I have been away. I went to Calgary to visit family and then I went on an amazing incentive trip, and so I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported me over last year. The incentive trip was the one I earned that for the year ending last September. We went to Disney World and we had 5 amazing days at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. We went to Epcot and we had an amazing wrap-up party at Animal Kingdom. So it was so much fun to spend some time with my sister and also to spend time with my demonstrator friends from around the world. It just was so amazing. It was very hot. I am a little bit tanned. We spent a lot of time in the pool because of the heat. But I arrived home last night after a few delays trying to get out of Calgary yesterday. But anyway, I'm home safe and sound, and I'm back with you with a sketch tonight. So hopefully I'm going to get some people joining. I know it's been a little bit of time since I've been live. Trying to see on Facebook. There we go. I think I can see comments. Let's just make sure that I can see comments. Still having those same issues on Facebook where I don't see the comments, so I go in afterwards. Anyway, so I'm glad to be back, and I have a sketch for you. And this is sketch, and I have to say I don't know who. Hey, Holly, welcome. I have to say I don't know whose card this was. So this sketch is based on a card that I saw during the swap. So there was an opportunity to do a swap for the incentive trip. I did not participate, but all of the cards were posted. Hey, Carol. Welcome from New Brunswick. All of the cards were posted, and so I saw a very fun card based that would use the Sunrise Sailing stamp set, and so that's what this sketch is based on. All right, let's switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. So the sketch is going to go live in about half hour's time, just about 7 o'clock. So if you miss any of these measurements, or you want to go back and use the sketch later, you'll find it on Instagram and my Facebook page and group. So it's a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. It could be 4.25 by 11. It's just a regular size card base. Now this dark piece, excuse me, is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Hey Connie, welcome. See, I still got my Disney nails on. I haven't got those off yet. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 is this dark piece. And then you need 5 pieces of different colors. So I'm using all of the new in colors. Bring them over here. So I've got 5 strips of the new in colors. These are 1 inch by 3 3/4. Then I've got a piece that's a white piece here, 3 inches by 4 1/4. You could use, another size in there, a die cut. I just make it a rectangle to make it easier. And then some kind of shape that you're going to put in the middle. I'm going to use a sailboat or a couple of sailboats, and those two, about 2.5 inches roughly. But anyway, some shapes to go in the middle. And then a piece of basic white for a sentiment, and you can put that sentiment wherever you want it to go. So again, if you miss any of those measurements, check Instagram or Facebook. All right, so this is the bundle that I'm using. This is one of my absolute favorite bundles. It's perfect. All sorts of occasions. So there's congratulations, happy retirement, best wishes, you deserve the best, you're destined for great things, ahoy. So it's thinking about a Father's Day kind of card. And then the dies will cut out. So this is 2-step stamping. These images are smaller, so they're 90%. So you can cut out that sailboat. You have 2 long pieces that will make some waves. You have some extra dies that will make clouds and then sailboats. We're going to use those 2 for sailboats. And then you have this one die that cuts out 3 very fine little birds. So if you're going to do those, you can use adhesive sheets put on the back of your cardstock, and that way you don't have to worry about glue because they are very tiny. Okay, I think that's all the pieces for my dies, and I've gone ahead and done that out. Now it is a hybrid embossing folder. Where did, oh, there it is. So it also comes, the bundle comes, gets everything back in there before I lose, comes with an embossing folder with the sailboat on it. And so you open this up, and on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it, this die fits in. And so as for all hybrid embossing folders, this kind of just clicks into place, and you can cut that out so it's embossed and cut out at the same time, which is very cool. We're not going to do that. We're just going to use the embossing folder tonight. But so it is a hybrid embossing folder. Okay, so that's what we're using tonight. So let's bring in the supplies. I've gone ahead and cut some of these pieces already. And I cut out a cloud, I cut out some waves, and I've cut out my sailboats. Okay, so I've got, this is cloud cover. So this is one of the new in colors. So I've got a piece that is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So I don't know if you heard the story about the cloud cover ink. So Stampin' Up! Brought out cloud cover in all of it's got blends and paper and embellishments and ribbon. The ink they had some issues with, some quality controls issues. So for demonstrators, we didn't get the cloud cover ink pad until they did some more testing. And they've actually found out that there is an issue with a reaction between the ink and the foam that is in our stamp pads. So the color seems to change on the foam. And so they have decided not to release the cloud cover stamp pads. So you won't be able to get a stamp pad this size, but you will be able to get the re-inker with the cloud cover. And then we sell the uninked spots. So just like the spots that you get, so this size, the spots that you get in Paper Pumpkin and the kit collection, we sell 5 to a package of uninked. And so you can buy, and these are fabric. These are the old style fabric pads. And so the reaction doesn't happen with those. So you can buy the re-inker and some uninked pads, spots, and there will be no reaction between the ink and the fabric, and it won't change color. So that's how they're going to release it. We won't get a regular size stamp pad, but you will be able to get, or you can now get the cloud cover ink, which we couldn't get when we were able to order. Okay, so the long story saying cloud cover ink is going to be available, or is available. All right, so then I cut a piece of basic white, and this piece was my piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So that's going to go on like that, and then these pieces are going to go on, and we're going to make it just a bit of a rainbow. Now, I decided I'd be brave and not cut a piece. Will there be a ink spot collection of 5? No, they're not going to do the package, the bundle of 5 ink pads because of the cloud cover not being available. So yeah, normally they have been selling a bundle of 5 of the ink pads, but that won't be available. Even though it's in the catalog, I believe they're going to issue a correction. Okay, so I'm going to put this just up. So it's just got that peekaboo, let's do this, peekaboo of the basic white around the edges. And you can put these colors in any order you want. So just butt them up against each other like that. So I was very happy because I love the cloud cover color, and so I was very happy when the option of getting the ink pad with the ink spot and just re-ink it or inking it up ourselves. So I'm using all of the brand new in colors, and I'm not doing a very good job of getting them lined up, but that's okay. And And so the bottom one, or the top, depending on which way I put this on, it will be Secret C. There we go. Okay. So I've got my band of colors, and now I'm going to emboss that using this. So I'm just going to put that kind of right on like that. Part of this is going to be covered because I've got that that piece that's going to go over top of it, so it doesn't really matter where it's going to go. So I bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So this is a hybrid embossing folder. It is a 3D embossing folder. So you just need the platform number 1 and then plate number 4 because it's one of the thick embossing folders. Oh, I'm seeing comments on Facebook for the first time in a while. Hey Joanne, hey Lorraine. Yes, we had an absolutely amazing trip. I do have to say I've been freezing all day because it was so hot down there, and I kind of got used to that temperature. Not really used to it, but kind of living in it. So yeah, I was cold today, but I am quite happy to be out of that 36 degrees Celsius or whatever it was, 95 degree temperature. Okay, so there I have gone ahead and embossed it so you get that nice waves across the bottom. This my sailboat's going to be covered over because I've got my piece of white that's going to go, but it's just got a little bit of texture on it. So this can now go onto my card base. So the card that I saw, and I really wish I had looked to see who the demonstrator was. They were all posted on the board. Actually used the Everyday Arches dies, which looked really cool. But I decided just to use a piece of basic white. And you could cut this, and in fact, I might trim this a little bit because it is feeling a little bit big. So on the measurements, I said 3 inches by 4 1/4. So I'm going to make this 2 3/4 by 4. Just trim it down so I can see a little bit more of that embossed cardstock behind it. Sketches, my sketches, any kind of sketches are just a guideline. So there we go. You get a little bit more of the colors behind. Now, where are we? So I cut out 2 of the sailboats. The dies. So there are 2 pieces to the sailboats. There is this one piece that I've cut out in Secret C, and I cut 2 of those, the small and the large, and then you've got the sails. So they only adhere onto the one side. So I'm just going to use just a little bit of glue to adhere that on, like that, and then the same on this side. There we go. And somewhere I've got a bit of a blend. I've got my blending brush, so I'm going to take, I don't have the Secret C inked up yet because my stuff arrived while I was away. So I'm going to try and just use a little bit. So I've got a little bit of this. Oh, sorry, I've got the Secret C. I don't have the cloud cover. So I'm just going to take the Secret C and just add a little bit of color lightly behind where the sailboat's going to go, just so it doesn't look quite so stark. Oh, and I got a big blotch there. I don't want to do that. So we're going to turn this over because there's 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. So you want to go just gentle. Don't press real hard like I did there. I just want to add a little bit of color to my piece. I usually start off the paper, but I didn't on that one. There we go. I've got just a little bit of color. So hopefully you can actually see see the sailboats a little bit better. But before I stamp that, I am going to put my sentiment. And I think I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do "You're destined for great things." I'm going to just put it right down there, so I'm stamping it, oopsie, off camera. There we go. In Secret C. And then we're going to put our two sailboats on. And I did cut some waves here. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm not going to use the waves. So I'm just going to take and put that there. And this, I'll use mini dimensionals on this little sailboat. Like that. And I did cut out a cloud, so we'll put that on. A big cloud for a big cloud in the sky, like that. Yeah, we're not going to put those on. All right. That on like that. All right. Need a little bit of a flag on top of the sailboat, so I'm just going to tie what I hope will be little tiny bows. I'm feeling very out of practice. It's been probably 2 weeks since I was live, so it's amazing how you get out of practice. All right, let's just use a little glue dot to put that on. Sailboats don't actually have bows on the top, but they do have often flags. So we'll just pretend that that's a flag. And then the last thing I want to put on the front, these are the in color, the new in colors, the 20, whatever it is, 2025 to 2020. 7 in colors and come in, and they're flat pearls. There are flat pearls also in the in colors from last year. So we're just going to take, and we will use the Secret C ones just so they stand out. So I love them. I've used a lot. Timid Tiger seems to be my favorite of the in colors, and so I don't actually have any Timid Tiger ones left. This is for the inside of the card, and so there is this wave stamp. So we will stamp this down at the bottom in Secret C. Could have used that on the front of the card too. There we go. There's my card, and thank you to whoever the demonstrator was. Like I said, I really wish I'd gotten the name of the person who designed the card that this was inspired by. But yeah, I really loved it, and I loved how she had done the band of colors, so it just kind of made it pop out. I think she'd used the big stamped sailboat on hers. But anyway, that's my version of that card. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. Now, tomorrow I will be... of course, I'm out of Timid Tiger. I am. I love orange. I bought an orange top in Orlando. Of course I did. I have to. I love orange. So I'll be live tomorrow night with a technique for you. So come back and join me at 6:30 tomorrow night. All right, everybody.